So we have created this particular div with this class name over here into this index.html, and in the next case all we are going to do, we are going to copy this class name, get back to stylesheet.css, and here we will be first of all creating a comment, and then we are providing this particular selector name and we are defining it. In the very first case, all we are going to do, we are going to create this particular things over here. So the width is 100% for this certain time period. All we are going to do, we are going to provide a particular height. Now in case of this background, you may provide here a green color. There it goes. So we have provided a green color over here. Now we can see that in this index.html we have practically created this image blender class. So all we have to do now, let's get back to our project and reload, and we can see that here comes this particular div class that we have created. Inside we are providing this margin top of 1 em. There it goes. This is the margin over here, and here comes the class. Now that we have created this particular div with this particular class name over here, so right now all we need to do, we need to create another background image here. So all we are now going to do, we are going to create that particular background. So that is why we will be providing this one, and in case of this image folder we will be using this foxbig.png. Get back to your project and reload, and we can see that the foxbig is now turning into the background of this particular selector class name. We need to make some little modifications over here, like this no repeat condition, this stop, and on the other hand we may get down here. We want the full visibility of our image, so that is why we will be providing here this background size contain. Reload, and there it goes. It is now proper into its position. Now if we want to blend our images, all we need to do, we need to provide this newer syntax of background blend mode, and we can see that all these things, those things are practically present into this particular message box. This is the lighten, color, color dodge, darken, difference, exclusion. So all of these things, those are practically different blending modes, those being used in case of a background image or a background pattern. So we will be selecting among them, we will be selecting this particular color dodge. There it goes. Press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload, and we can see that this will be the scenario. So according to our definition, as we have seen over here, that this mode checks the color information in all the 3 channels and brightens the base color. So this practically enhancing the base color over here, and that is why the image is completely disappearing into this particular div or selector name. But if we now get back to our project, and instead of this color dodge, if we now use hard light situation, if we use this hard light situation, reload, and we can see that this will be the output. That means this base color and this particular pattern or background image, both of them are now reacting, they are now transiting, and they are producing this kind of effect in front of us. If we change this particular base color here to a different one, and if we get back to our project and reload, we can see that this is the soft light effect that we were talking about. So this is the soft light. In case of another, for say, instead of soft light, if we use here screen, get back to your project and reload, and you can see now that the image is getting enhanced. It is now getting enhanced in brightness condition. Instead of screen, if we now use overlay condition, there goes the output. So all these things, these are blending effect, and if you use here any of these kind of things, those have been described over here, those have been present over here, those act as the blend mode with which the image and the base color will be working with. As you can see that this is the exclusion, so if you use here exclusion, this will be the result, and all you need to do, you need to make some experiments with it to see how this transition occurs and how these color changes occur over here. Another thing, in case of this background blend mode condition, first of all let's change it to overlay. In case of this background blend mode condition, all we need to do, first of all copy it, and we need to provide all those hack codes, those we have used previously. That means this mouse background, this WebKit background, this O, that means this Opera background, and of course this MS background. Yet there are some limitations over here. Now this is the thing that we have seen in case of a base color and that means a solid color and a pattern over here. Now what if we want to have this blending effect into different patterns, that means to different images?